The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. I am back in St. Louis, Missouri with Andrew Collin in studio. How's it going, Andrew?
I missed you this weekend, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, pal. How do you feel about pal, by the way?
I like Pal.
You don't mind pal?
Yeah, I mean, Pal just sucks when you like a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like they pal you.
What's like I know top one, bottom one's
Ma'am.
coming. Ma'am?
Ma'am is the worst.
Oh. Have you been called ma'am?
All the it's just the go-to now. Lady and ma'am. Don't ever. I don't ever get miss.
Ma'am? When's the last time you were called ma'am?
I mean, when I travel, ma'am, you got to check that bag, ma'am. It's all day. I am ma'am.
I am ma'am.
That's what you'd be nominated for an Oscar for.
Yeah, I mean, look, you might have to step in for I Am Legend too.
Yeah, sir has got to feel good.
No,
No,
sir is like ma'am. It's like
like you're knighted.
Excuse me, sir. Oh yes, sir. I could help you, sir.
What do you like usually, boss?
I like gray bearded bitch. That's fun when some
But
guy.
there's no miss of boy. Boy is derogatory.
Mister sounds weird.
Mister, hey Mister. It's always like a little poor child tugging on your
feels a little
lapel. Not your lapel. What's the?
Excuse me, Mister. It just it feels
Mister. It's someone who's either gonna scam or they're really in danger.
Yeah, and you might cause them to be in danger.
Yeah, ma'am sucks, but it's just the way it is. But I have been getting hit on a lot more recently.
Why, you think?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something that happens. Oh, maybe. That's a really good point. They just like sense it.
Because you're wearing a ring?
I am wearing a ring. I mean, I have one on my ring finger too, because the only one that fits. It's my daintiest little finger, and it's the only one that fits this small one. And I didn't want to lose it, so I put it on it looks like an engagement ring. No, I just got hit on
in person?
Just on the street. I was wearing an F-boy. I mean, I looked like shit just going down to get my coffee. Just woke up, no makeup. But when you have long blonde hair, it's kind of an eye catcher, and that was, if I would have had it back, it wouldn't have happened.
What do you mean?
Guy was just in his car.
Oh, in his car?
Oh, yeah, and he just through the window. He was like, getting in his car after it was parked. So he's in his car. And he just rolled down the passenger side window and was like, he said, "Next time that coffee's on me." He goes, "What's your number? Next time that coffee's on me." Black guy.
You talked to him, or were you?
Whenever I have to say, when I gain some weight, that's when I start getting hit on by,
by black men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it feels great.
Yeah.
I was delighted by it, and I just was like, thank you. I was like happy. And then the other day, there was another one too. Where did it happen? It was so flattering. I mean, in my 20s, I would have been like, fuck you, but now.
I feel like when,
keep it
I
coming.
guess it's kind of a cat call in a way.
That was totally a cat call.
Yeah, definitely a cat call. I drove, I was in the fish truck business when I rode around in a fish truck.
Yeah.
I was a fishmonger / fish truck delivery guy. So a lot of cat calls coming from a fish truck. Where I felt kind of uncomfortable, but I honestly feel like
so you saw it happening. You saw the guys do it.
Oh, yo, look at her!
But I know that guy is doing it all. If he did that to me, looking like I looked like, he must be doing it all day long. This was not.
It's not a bad move. Park outside Starbucks. Plenty of hot women. Hey, next time.
Coffee's on me.
Coffee's on me. I have
I'm
the
like,
app.
You don't want to know how much this coffee costs. I doubt it will be on you next time. It is honestly more than a drink you would buy at a bar.
Yeah, he's like, so what's that coffee? He just peels off halfway through the order. It's
Not
like,
even
Jesus,
halfway.
I hate this woman.
I'm like, and 2 stevia? And if you don't have stevia, I don't want anything
He's like,
at
shut
all.
up, bitch! Shut up! But
What's the other one? God damn, it was really good.
But the funny thing about a cat call, though, it's like, I think every guy will be like, all those guys are like, yo, nice ass, smile. If you actually turn, you're like, oh, that's very nice of you. They wouldn't have
anything. They know you're going to respond.
Yeah.
like ignoring them or no, there was I know where it was. It was in New York, and I was gussied up for this like meeting I had, and it was on the street, and it was just like a really old, like an old guy, like a 50-year-old like construction worker, and I just saw him clock me, and he's walking by. I was very busy, and I was looking for Emil because Emil had my bags, and I'm standing on the street, kind of like looked like a lost little girl, just looking on every direction because I was at this corner, and he could be coming from any direction. And all these, I mean, it's lunchtime, and it's by like Hudson Yards. So there's tons of people like walking by, and this guy, I saw him like looking at me, and he's just like, oh my God, look at you. Oh my God. And I just kind of looked at him like, what is this? What are you doing? You know? And then
it's
he
like, ma'am, you have toilet paper on your shoe.
like, toilet pooper.
I don't know what I said.
And he
Good night.
kept walking and kept staring, and it was very creepy actually. Like he got halfway down the block the other way and was still turning around and taking it all in.
I mean,
and that was
how does that feel as a woman?
That does not feel good. This guy was, I mean, I never, there is something about it that's like, oh, I guess I still got it, but when I really break it down, these guys are doing it all day long, and it's just a numbers game. Eventually, I guess they think it's going to pay off.
I mean, I have seen videos of women, they get hit on, the guy's like in a shitty car, or next to a shitty car, and then he moves to his Lamborghini, and the girl is like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't know how much of it's staged. Did you look at the car at all? Do you care about the car being nice?
I don't
being
remember.
Shitty?
Car blind. Don't know.
Car blind.
Car
blanche.
Yeah, carblind.com. I just you can't,
I'll buy that.
I don't care. But I was watching.
You don't think it would matter though if it was a guy in a BMW versus a guy?
It would probably feel better because I was watching The Tinder Swindler last night. Have you seen it?
No, but I love the name.
It's so
fun.
good. Have you seen it, Noah?
I'll watch it
I've
tonight.
heard so much about it.
It's really
like
good.
it?
It's done by the same people that did the same woman that did Don't Fuck with Cats. So it's really well produced. It's a documentary. I thought it was like a I don't like when real stories are turned into like dramas.
Oh, I don't either.
Like
Except the OJ one was not bad.
Oh, that one was great. Okay, I don't want to say that I don't like it ever, but I would like. There's there's the WeWork guy.
Oh,
There's this new show called We Crashed, and it's with what's her name? The girl who everyone didn't like that was in The Devil Wears Prada, brown hair. She hosted the Oscars with James Franco.
Anne Hathaway.
Yes,
Anne
it's with
Hathaway.
her, and then I mean,
Anne
sure,
Pooper.
and then Jared Leto. That's what they got nominated for a bunch. I
Okay.
guess it's called We Crash, and it's about WeWork, which was. Do you know about WeWork?
Yeah, I mean,
They were like,
the timing couldn't have been worse for them for COVID. Is that why they
no,
crashed?
no,
Oh.
dude, no. I mean, it was like the guy was a swindler.
Oh,
Another Tinder site. There was some tweet recently where a girl was like, "Where's all the serial killers? Because I keep going to bed to women getting conned now." Like she was talking, like women used to love murder podcasts, and now it's all just con men because there's Bad Vegan, there's Tinder Swindler, there's some other ones too. We Crashed. It's just women believing this guy. Nexium. All these guys, they're just culty.
oh, so this is about the
losers.
WeWork guy in his personal life, not about the business.
I mean, no, it's about the business,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
about him being a lot like the like what's her name? The girl who talked like this, like lying to
Yeah.
investors,
Elizabeth Holmes.
being very enigmatic, and everyone investing in this thing, and his company, which is basically a real estate company that is just shared space, which isn't a new thing, but he invented this like whole. He was just. You got to see WeWork. So, but I'm asking you. There's the drama version called We Crashed, and it's like a series, and then there is a documentary called like WeWork.
Yeah.
About it. I don't know what it's called. What would you choose to watch if you wanted to know about something?
Documentary all day.
Who the fuck is choosing the drama?
I don't know.
Well, who are these people that want to watch that over like what really happened? Because the dramas lie.
Yes.
And they fabricate because it's not interesting enough, and the people are doing fake accents, and it's just I was thinking about that. There's a certain type of person who prefers the fictionalized version of a nonfiction thing, and I just like documentaries so much more because I know I'm not. I mean, of course, things are exaggerated for documentaries. I'm not completely, I'm just not buying everything they give me, but it just feels like I'm getting more facts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
People don't like facts
I'm
anymore, I
trying
don't
to think about a movie that I've enjoyed. Like they made so many 9/11 movies. They made
Yeah.
So, about like a real life thing, Titanic, I guess, was better than the documentary.
Yeah, but
It depends
I
how
would
good the
not
show
watch.
is.
I would watch Titanic after I watched the documentary because I would want to know
What happened to
the
the boat?
truth. And I did know the truth about the Titanic. I mean, like I knew enough.
You knew he painted
But
her naked.
WeWork, I knew nothing about. And I go, and the other night I see both options and I go, who would ever choose the fictionalized version where it's just Jared Leto
Yeah.
and Anne Hathaway telling you what it's like? Or the Anna Delvey story, the one that Inventing Anna that everyone watched.
Yeah.
I read the New York Magazine piece about it, which is why this show even got made. And it was so fascinating. And I'm not trying to be like, I read and so I'm better, but I got every piece of information that could possibly, this thing was based off of this piece. This thing was a tome to read. It was like a book to read this article. I had no interest in watching the fictionalized version. None.
So then why would
Because-
you be interested in Titanic if you saw the Titanic
Well,
documentary?
because it was an epic, because it was something that
Wouldn't it be funny if the
was a
documentary...
movie.
Wouldn't it be funny if the documentary spent like an hour on how he painted her tits?
And because Titanic was fictional from the get.
What do you mean?
There was not a Leo character. There was not a Rose character. There was not a Billy Zane character. That was a
Oh.
fictional story.
So if it's all fake, you're into it.
It was taking place during a time that was real, an event that was real, but the story itself was.
Got you.
If it was based on a real story, I would not have interest in it. And I was in 8th grade at the time, and you just see Titanic because it's what everyone saw.
Yeah.
But I saw Tinder Swindler last night because I thought it was a fictional. I thought it was I forget what they call those. But no, it's a documentary, and it's so good. And
Do you think you could fall for a guy like this
yeah,
after watching it?
no, after watching it, no,
We
because
also believe dead people are real.
it's
after
going
watching
to
it.
Tyler Henry's show. I'm sold on an afterlife. Sold. That is a big life
I watched
change.
some of it. It was, I don't know. I don't know if I could get over. Like, I don't know. I
You
didn't
gotta
like.
watch more.
I didn't like the. I liked him. I don't like the people that he interviews a lot, or at least the women. The first episode, I don't know.
Oh, the girls that have the friend.
Yeah, it just didn't.
Yeah,
really
that one
catch
was not
me.
a good. That one wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Stay with it.
All right, I'll try again.
It gets so much better. But the Tinder Swindler. So, you do know anything about it?
I know that this guy like stole money from women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he pretty much presents a business model for men to follow. He did a Ponzi scheme, which is essentially like you're paying the next person with the money you steal from the person before that, and you're
Yes.
stealing money from this person by paying the debts. Like I don't know how this guy even got started, but he tens of millions of dollars from different women, and it's just fascinating how he worked because he would get them to fall in love with him, his jet-setting life, like instantly. The thing that would worry me, that I have to say, because I know a lot of our listeners have seen this because so many people have seen the show, where it would get me and make me worried, and I'm proud of myself for this, and I think more women should be observant of this, is these women were desperate to find a partner, which I have been before, and have a boyfriend and just have this fucking done with and have someone that loves you. They would meet this guy and he would fall for them instantly.
They would fall for him.
No, he would play like he was falling for them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If a man doesn't have time to get to know you, he cannot fall in love with you. It's too fast. He doesn't know you. When I have dealt with men before, a famous man, in fact.
That like love bombs, like too early kind of thing.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
he goes, "You're so fascinating. You are." There's this really famous guy that I became kind of romantically involved with, but he didn't know me at all. He never asked a question about me. We didn't have phone conversations. It was all based on like sexting kind of stuff, and
you gave him 80
it
grand.
wasn't love bombing, but it was just like, you intrigue me. You are different. Like, there's something about you. I just really, you're special. Like, and I go, where are you? One day I said, where are you getting this from? Have you watched my specials? And he goes, yeah, I watched your special. And I go, okay, there you go. Then you did some research. I can see how you would watch Bangin' and be like, there's something about this girl that's interesting. You get to know me in that. But these girls, this guy is, someone needs time to fall in love. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would advise women and men is like, if someone is seeing the real you and just gets you too soon, that isn't something that is telepathed. you need to actually know about a person,
Yeah.
spend time with them to love them.
You feel like you're just a guy can literally do that. It's like Mad Libs. You're just filling in a role.
Oh my
He's
God.
doing the same thing probably over and over again.
When this
he knows
article
what
came
works.
out-
It's like a salesman. It's like well, not Wall Street. There's a set thing. These are the things. These are the rebuttals, and you do it over time. And he treated it probably like a job, like a sales
Yeah.
call, right?
I
Most
mean,
likely.
So in the documentary, the girls find out they're being swindled. They get together, they take it to the press. It becomes I'm not ruining too much. It becomes a thing, and then girls that are currently dating him see the article come up on their Instagram. They're like, "My boyfriend is this Tinder swindler," and because the Tinder swindler was coined by a Norwegian paper, and
It's such a catchy name.
it's so good.
It's like
Whoever
Fiddler,
did, yeah,
Fiddler on the Roof. I don't know why it reminds me of
Swindler on your roof.
Fiddler, yeah, Swindler on your roof. I don't know,
Swindler
Tinder
on your
Swindler.
But they would.
It sounds fun. It
They would
sounds like
compare all of the WhatsApp messages to their own.
Identical?
And it's the same.
Ugh.
And it makes them feel so special because he is a good conman. Have you ever seen? We were about to do top one, bottom one. Catch Me If You Can was going to be my movie
love
we
that
were going to do
movie.
movie. That movie teaches you how manipulative and these guys can be and how charming.
That guy was brilliant though too. He actually really remember the part where he passed the board, like he actually
Yeah,
passed.
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, they're
know.
often really smart. This guy, and he's,
Was this guy
ugh.
poor? You could just kind of ruin it for me. I don't care.
I don't want to ruin it for our fans. He is not.
Was
we
he
don't
poor
really even know what
before?
yeah, he's not poor, but he came from like humble means beginnings, and he just lied and
wonder
said that
how
his
it
family was
started. I
a
wanna-
diamond magnate. He was the son of a diamond magnate that was like the 137th richest man in the world.
I wonder who the first girl was. Does it say?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how does this guy get started?
Yeah.
But
Well, do you think
man,
the first girl broke his heart enough that he like kind of hates women in a
I
way
hate
that he
that
does
story.
But that is, on Perfect Strangers too. That's often the story for like why these guys go
And they
rogue.
stick
Is
to it
like
so
one
hard.
girl broke my heart, and usually the one girl is your mother.
Oh,
You hate women because your mother is a fucking cunt, and that is what like so many men hate women because their aunt or their mother or someone beat them, neglected them, molested them, and it's really tragic. But and it's not an excuse; it's real. Like
Yeah.
that stuff, and the same with women. They will not trust men because their father, their brother, whatever it is.
She never paid me to do chores, and now I'm gonna take it out on every woman.
You meet his mom in the thing too, a little bit.
Really, Mrs.
She has
Mom?
quite a bump on her back. These people that have giant lumps on their back,
Oh,
like
it's
when
an
they're
interesting
hunchback,
thing. Yeah.
when do you just go, well, this is weird. Maybe I'm just going to sit up straight a little bit more. How do you lean into that?
No, but some
Literally.
Yeah. I think some of those diseases, it's like a disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can't stand straight through it.
Right.
You could try.
But
Well,
it's
there's this thing.
progressive. Let's
There's
be honest. There's
the phone thing. That's the hump that
when
you can fix.
Yeah, I'm like, don't message me about like it's a vertebrae issue. Like, if it's a genetic bone issue, different. But I'm saying tech neck, which we all have.
Yes.
You're supposed to, look at your phone from your jawline. If you look at your jaw right below your ear, that's supposed to be the little radius point from which you do this. So that but we all go like that. We do it from the bottom of our neck, which just creates this hump. Don't you at some point go, wow, that picture of me. I'm going to try to do something about this.
I've noticed I had tech neck living in New York, and it's gone away a lot living here.
Yeah.
Because you walk around in New York.
Always.
This.
Oh
The
my
whole
God.
time.
Yeah, we
23 hours a day. I'm not like that anymore. I'm not on my phone as much. If I am, I'm in bed laying like that. So now I have a hump here, which looks cool.
Yeah.
It's like, it's balancing it out. Soon I'll lean on this side, and I'll have fucking 5 humps.
Old camel shoulders. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll come back with more. Andrew!
Coming in now. Come on. Hold on.
Okay, we're back. Tech neck.
Tech neck sounds like Tinder's one. Like, it's fun. Anything that rhymes. You could be a murderer if it's fun if it rhymes.
Yeah.
You know? I'm trying to think like, I don't know, grapey rapey? No. That's
No,
not
that one's not as
kind of
good.
forced.
Right.
These are forced.
I'm just like the grapey rapist. Forced.
Yes.
So this weekend, I
yeah.
was in Canada. You weren't able to go because your flight got like delayed, minutes, and so it made it so you weren't gonna. Wasn't it delayed like an hour? Or
No,
something?
it got delayed 8 hours.
Oh, I didn't.
There
know
was
that.
nothing in between.
Oh wow.
It went from 6 a.m. to like 3 p.m. flight.
You're right.
And it was just like, yeah, I felt really bad. Like, I really did want to go. Like, I
Felt
fucking
bad, not for me though, right? Because that really annoys me to hear.
know.
I felt bad because I'm just like, but I don't know what to do with that because I told you like even when you texted me, I was at dinner. I was just like, it's fine, don't care. Like, do you not believe me?
I believe you. I just think like I know how much you work and how much you would have to travel to go from LA
But
to
I still
Winnipeg.
have to, whether you come or not.
That's true. It's just like I think it's more about like I feel bad because I want. It sounds cheesy, but like I do like want to be there for you. Like I do
that's
feel like
nice.
there's like a team work kind of thing, even when we're on the road. That like
Yeah.
that like if I'm not there, like I do feel like I am part of the show in a way.
Yes.
I do think
Well,
because
the
of this
fans
podcast,
were definitely sad.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well,
and I
that's
was-
not me.
I know that's not you.
So you can feel bad for the fans that were disappointed that you weren't there, but don't feel bad for me. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. I think you're taking it like.
That's why I asked, do you feel bad because you're letting me down? Because you're not.
Okay, well that's good.
Right.
That feels good and bad.
Okay.
But
Why?
Because it feels bad because it's like actually I don't need you at all. I'm fine.
I
no
kind
matter
of
what.
realized it was like I like having you around because it's fun, but it was just, there are some thoughts I have now about tour having done this alone. Cause I'm like, there's something about doing it alone. Like I did miss the hangs, but I'm realizing like so oftentimes I want the hang after the show and I'm not getting that with the group that I've assembled because everyone works so hard before and everyone's tired afterwards. And I want more like energy afterwards. So I'm kind of like, because beforehand, we don't even get to hang that much on the tour. And so now I'm like, but I want you there because the fans, and because it is fun to have you around, but we don't really get to hang that much, especially with the amount of travel and just
Yeah.
like and because I sleep during the day, you're running around buying Nike, looking at the town.
Yeah, I'm really going over Nike Town.
But like because we have the way we approach the road is different. You're tired after the show, which is normal to be. I'm not. And so I'm usually alone after the show anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm still alone. And I just need to figure out a way so that people can stay up a little bit with me afterwards because that's the hang that I want.
I mean,
And I was
look,
alone this time too. I mean, my openers left. I made my openers in Winnipeg like stay and hang out. But you could tell they were like kind of like, okay, can we
it's
can we
like
go
5
sleep?
a.m. You're like,
No, it wasn't. It was like 11, but I get it. I just am so amped up after a show. It's
What do
hard
you like
for me
to do? Is it just talking to people? Like,
Honestly,
what do you
all
enjoy?
I want in life, all I want, like literally my passion in life is hanging and talking. Is just laughing and talking, watching a show together, like just everyone relaxed, no one being like, oh, we gotta go soon, or like on their phone, like I gotta go to bed. Like I just want people present and talking. That's all I want. Like I was talking to Carlisle about this because she's like working this restaurant job, and she's just like, what am I doing with my life? And I'm not even happy, and if I can't make it in the business, I don't think I'm going to be happy. And I'm like, it is not, shows are great and they're fun, but I do everything I do so that I can just hang out and have fun. Like my happiness is sitting on the couch with Carlisle, Chris, if Andrew wants to come, like with my friends, my boyfriend, my dog, watching a show and making fun of it. That is all I want in life. And yeah, I work really hard so that I can do that and not be freaking out about money and stuff like that. That is like also, that takes you out of those moments. But I don't get that on the road as much because everyone cares everyone's really anxious before a show, whether it's because, they're tour managing and running around and doing things or they're like sound checking or worrying about you know, and like it makes sense. Or taking in a town and like going out and doing touristy things, which I'm not doing because I'm like saving my energy for the show, not because that's the right thing to do, but because that's just what I need to do after a day of travel. I just like to sleep. But my schedule isn't the same. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like after a show, you're so funny. That's my favorite, Andrew, because you're like deliriously tired and just saying wacky things.
Yeah, real wacky.
But you want to go.
I mean, there's times. I mean, sometimes I feel like you're so amped up that like you have an ability to do 45 podcasts when there's no podcast. Like you have, it's incredible. Like I don't even know if anyone even has to be there. It could just be a stuffed bear, and you could talk its head off, which is interesting, but like it's hard to keep up with sometimes. But that being said, like I don't know, man. Part of me is like, I just want to feel like, and I know it's just like it's an ongoing thing where it's like it's just 10 minutes or whatever. But it's like I do think that again, it goes back to my talent that like I feel like I do make a better show for people because I am that funny and I am that good at what I do. Mm-hmm. So there is a level of like, okay, I know the hang's great. Again, you know, like I want to be there because I want to. Also, a lot of people listen to this podcast.
Yes,
they probably feel like they would. You know, I got a lot of messages like, "I can't believe you didn't like
did
mad
too.
at me."
Yes,
and stuff. And I was like, "Well, I'm not. It's not necessarily my show, but like." So then there's like that whole thing. I'm getting messages like, "How could you not come to Canada?" Like, I was like, dude,
I tried.
Like, bro, like it's a 15-hour flight both ways for one show for
Believe
me
me,
to do.
It's hard for me to do that. Yes.
Yeah, and it's your show. You know what I mean? And so all those kind of things go through my head. And in regards to like, I think I feel bad because like I know how hard you work, and for me to be like, that's why I was like, look, I'll fly to Vancouver because
No, I know you were. Yeah.
So those are the things, and like I know that doesn't necessarily affect you, but there is still got to be a level of like, I'm working this much, and I can do these fucking flights. He's not working as much, and he doesn't want to do these. That kind of goes through my head.
No, that flights are annoying no matter what, and that was why I was like, no, that is not.
Yeah.
Don't do this to yourself. It is going to Canada is such hell. No offense to Canada, I love you so much, but for some reason they treat you like a criminal, like you're trying to get in there to start a sex trafficking
country
ring.
One time to Canada.
They are so mean, and they make me feel like the border control people have such a power trip. They make me feel bad about coming, and I'm always left. And Air Canada are such rude flight attendants. I honestly, no offense, I think it's the French thing. They do everything in English and French, and in order to do that, they need French people working, and they're just rude. And they make you take out your headphones so you listen to their little announcement.
Oh,
they don't let you put your fucking guitar in the overhead thing, even though it fits. I almost got into a Karen moment on the plane. Like I almost snapped because my guitar was gonna snap because they were handling it roughly and they wouldn't let me. They made me gate check it, and I was like, I know it's gonna fit, but I couldn't prove it because I was on the plane yet. Then I get in there and I go, it would have fit. Can I have it back? Because it's gonna break down below.
And what's annoying is you bring a soft case to fit, right?
Yeah, and they're like, they go, well, you should have a hard case if you don't want it to break. And I go, well, it would have fit because it's a small guitar, bitch.
There's the rub. That's the rub.
The bitch. But there's something about I loved Winnipeg and Vancouver. They were some of the best shows I've ever had. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not trying to make you have FOMO, but they were truly the best audiences, the best hangs afterwards with the people that were at the meet and greet. They were some of my favorite shows ever. And I would tell you if they weren't. I mean, they were. But there's something about going through customs that makes me feel like I don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
Because I am treated so shittily, and I'm treated like a suspect. The dogs are constantly sniffing around my bags. I get to baggage claim. The bags aren't coming out, so we all have to wait. But then the fucking customs agents, after we've already been through customs, start going up to us going like, let me see your passport. And it's like, do you think I'm loitering here just for fun because I'm waiting for a drug deal to go down? I'm waiting for my goddamn bag. And they talk to you so rudely that it's like dealing with a cop in the state. Like, cops are so rude upon approach that you already feel guilty and you get an attitude.
It's
and so I go
weird.
into Canada feeling guilty, angry, and like, I don't even want to do this. It's not worth it. It took 12 hours to get to Winnipeg because and everyone's so slow. The TSA, going through. I go, who is there like a terrorist organization that is trying to target Air Canada because they act like that's the one that's going to be taken down?
Yeah.
And I just am
They're like, oh yeah, it's like no one wants to really
just start profiling. When has a blonde girl in a Taylor Swift T-shirt ever been,
Annoying?
radicalized?
Oh, radicalized.
by ISIS?
Now you're giving them ideas, Nikki.
I mean, honestly, maybe I was gonna say that to them. Like, you have to take out my guitar and go through it. Look who is.
Yeah, who are you, Desperado over here?
Just
What do you got, a machine gun /
I'm
guitar?
sorry, I'm in a bad mood about it, and I did miss you on the road.
But this is my whole point. This is my whole point, though. These are the thoughts I'm having of you having to deal with all this shit, and me not having to deal with it, and then
But I'm not one of these people that goes. I want him to have a bad time so that that doesn't make me feel better to go, I'm going to bring you on this shit show too. That's not like, that does, and because you being there wouldn't help me deal with these fucking people. It would honestly.
We could have laughed about it probably.
Yeah. Just like we're doing now.
Also, I look more like a terrorist than you, so
maybe you would have gotten it.
I probably would have gotten more of you would have been fine. This is the thing. You travel with me, you never get terrorized or looked at as a terrorist.
Terrorized.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if anyone's getting terrorized, it's me.
We got to get to like at least one news story.
Terrorized sounds like analyzed in a way.
Okay, here comes the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
I don't know. We started the pod a little late today. Maybe you didn't hear it here first. I'm going to apologize if it's the fifth time. But anyways, it's Monday, folks. You know what that means. It's Monday. Hope you're having all the swells. Nikki really does love Air Canada. She's just kidding.
No, I hate it, Air Canada. And no one from Air Canada is going to listen to this. But they're the Spirit Airlines of. And Spirit Airlines actually is pretty good. They just charge you a lot for stuff. But they're actually nice.
I just get scared that their chairs are going to fall apart. They look like lawn chairs. In there.
And really?
Spirit Airlines?
Really?
Yeah, they're made out of like weird tinfoil. Anyhow, back to you, Noah. Just for the
It's fine to be made of tinfoil. You're not going to survive a crash anyway.
I talked.
It's the illusion.
My buddy works
that
at Boeing. I asked him all those like annoying questions like
about like how
why
to
it doesn't have a parachute. Why don't each seat? Why doesn't the roof fly off and then just eject?
Okay,
that's not a bad idea.
No one needs to get to the story because she sent us this weird,
terrifying
terrifying graphic.
I thought this was Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, so are you going to ask us if he's running away from us or towards us? Okay, that's my guess.
Yes.
Doesn't it look like Catch Me If You Can?
Yes.
Do you see in the optical illusion? Do you see the man running toward you or away from you?
I think it depends on how I'm looking at it, but I see him running.
Is this going to tell us whether we think we're a victim or
the first thing?
Okay.
The first thing you see, away or toward?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Away.
Toward.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So this optical illusion reveals if you have a female or male brain, depending on what you see first.
Okay. Wait, just females or already, because it's a man, we think they're raping us?
They're
going to come in.
If you saw the man running towards you, it means that you try to solve your problems and pass life's difficult obstacles using your spot-on analytical skills and good reason. You learn very quickly once you become curious about something, and that's when you focus all your energy on it until you come up with an idea how to approach it. You're not a good multitasker. Once you come up with an idea, you have a strong opinion about something.
Okay.
You're ready to back it up with convincing arguments because you're sure of yourself and your great focus and attention skills. And it said more male brain for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you saw the man running away from you, which is what Andrew and I saw, your analytical skills and reasoning are at their max. You rely on your senses and reasoning, and you don't rush when making a decision. Your brain is at its best when you immerse yourself in something creative or you're creating something from scratch. You're a great multitasker, and you always have an amazing memory. What you can always count on are your intuition and excellent senses. Okay, so people got to go look at this picture.
Yeah.
To see for themselves.
It'll be on our YouTube.
It'll be on our YouTube.
And I'll link to it.
And it'll be on, can we put it on our stories in case people
Sure.
don't see the
Yeah.
YouTube soon enough?
Absolutely. And link on our podcast description.
Yeah.
I love these things.
I love these things too. Anything that tells you about yourself is
But
just
it's like
so
15
gratifying.
things. It's got to be like, when it's 15
It's almost
things, I'm
like-
I'm that one. I'm not that one. I'm that one. Oh, I'm so that
But
one.
honestly, no one's a good multitasker. It's proven that humans cannot focus on two things at once. There's just no one who can do it.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. You think that you can pay attention to TikTok and listen to what someone's saying on the TV, that show that you're watching, but you can't. You just go back and forth. There isn't someone who can hear both those things and process them. It is truly impossible for humans to do that. It is not a thing.
Even the younger generation?
No, it's
You
not
don't
a
think
thing.
like it could evolve?
No, the book I read that said that, I forget which one, because I'm reading so many of these fucking books right now.
You're
I'm just,
multitasking books.
I am,
Yeah.
You're
but
multi-booking.
that I remember reading, and some bestie will come up with the research for this, but it is proven that multitasking is not a thing. We think it is. I mean, we can go, oh, I'm going to do this while I have this going, like I'm going to chop these onions
Yeah.
and have this on simmer and make it so it's timed out that this is caramelizing right when these are ready to go in, of course. But hearing and knowing what two different things are saying, impossible. And I've tried it before. Try it out. Try to
Okay,
be on
here,
TikTok.
talk to me, and I'll be on TikTok.
Because here's the thing, but really try to see, because what happens is you realize your attention goes from one thing to the other thing. It does not, you can almost guess what someone said at the beginning of a sentence that you didn't hear based on the end of the sentence. So you think you know what the beginning of the sentence said, but you actually didn't hear it.
I guess it depends on what the task is,
Which
too,
is,
right?
when did I quiz
Don't
you
you
about
mean-
a show that you were watching TikTok on and you missed
Squid
like,
Game. It was
You
Squid
missed
Game.
like huge plot points.
You get it.
Narcos too. Narcos was the one I was like, dude, this is a different, and Squid Game. It's a
I
different
was more
language.
upset that I missed the TikToks watching Narcos. I missed 7 seconds of that one where the girl goes like this. I was like, what's in the middle? What's in the middle?
So, oh yeah.
I fucking-
He's doing a TikTok dance.
I really tried to not do TikTok as much. I'm trying so hard.
Take it off your phone. I
know.
don't. It's for me. It's alcohol. Nope, you don't get it. Other people can have it. You don't get to have it because you don't get to have it. You are no. I have not once had a moment where I go, that person is succeeding in life more than me because they have TikTok on their phone. It is always a conversation of my life is being overtaken by. There's never once where I feel left out because TikTok shows up on Reddit, the best ones. I asked you to send me the best ones. You can have people in your life that you go, hey, if you come across a TikTok, I don't have it anymore. If you come across one you like, will you send it to me?
The only thing that's really good with TikTok is
Yeah.
instructional videos. If you want to learn anything,
Yeah.
if you want to learn a song real quick, 4 chords, give it to me. I don't want fucking. A lot of these YouTube videos, it's 2 minutes of fluffer. It's like, so when you get to the golf
As someone
course,
who is
and
learning
yes,
guitar from YouTube, you just go to you scan along
I
and you
guess
see
you
where the
could do
chord
that.
shows up on the right hand
Okay.
screen, the side. There's ways to do it. TikTok is not actually. You need to learn things with someone explaining it, then explaining it again. That's why none of these TikToks stick. People aren't really changing their lives because of TikToks.
I like one guy that changed his whole life from one TikTok. He's like, you don't know, 7 months ago.
I'm not better than anyone because I don't do TikTok. I am so grateful that for me, it was something that the first time I did it, I go, this is, I just an hour went by and I don't know what I saw, what I got from it. The only thing I got was that I am jealous of a 10-year-old that I just saw that has better skin than me. And I don't need this shit.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way. It sounds weird with coffee. If I drink too much coffee, an hour will go by. I have no idea what happened. I have very
whoa.
short-term memory. Like, I didn't take anything in. Like, sometimes I'll drink so much caffeine before I hit golf balls. By the end of the day, I didn't. It's a time travel, like a time warp coffee.
And you don't get anything actually productive done?
I'm doing things productive that you think would stick, but I don't even know if they stuck. But I guess they stuck.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just sensitive to coffee, but it's like anything. It's like if you tried to learn something on cocaine, maybe it wouldn't stick. Maybe it does.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
No, it does
you ever
make
drink
sense.
so much coffee where you're like, where did that 7 hours just go?
Well, I relate when I've been on ADD meds where the whole day can get away from me because I'm hyper focused on a couple different things but then I have a clean house. So something did get done and I don't remember doing it and a lot of times with coffee as well, I can get this burst that I would feel on ADD meds of just like hyper focused, interested, excited, and I'm just trying to keep it going because it's such a good feeling, and like the despair and the depression I was feeling before is gone momentarily. Coffee is a wild drug.
But how many things have been like agreed upon? It was like at the end of the day with the Canada trip, I was like, look, this is a sign that I shouldn't be going. I woke up in the morning, I had one cup of coffee. I go, I'm looking at flights. I'm ready to go.
Because
like,
drugs make us do things all the time.
But coffee isn't considered a drug, but it is.
It
obviously.
is such a drug. It is. Honestly, it's smoking in the 60s. People don't know the damage coffee is
Are we
doing.
going to all be getting cancer because of coffee, you think?
Not cancer, but I mean, it leads to early death because coffee is, I always think of it, I call it anxiety juice. You're drinking anxiety juice. That's what someone coined it as once. And I heard that. And now every time I think of it, I was like, yeah, I give myself this energy, but it always turns into anxiety.
Oh.
And you get, I'm absolutely
Oh,
hardcore
man.
addicted to coffee, as much as anyone on Skid Row is addicted to fucking
New York City, getting
crocodile
drinking
or
too much
whatever.
coffee, and then being in the park and being like, I'm just taking in the park, and then that anxious comes in, and the park feels like everyone's trying to murder. All those guys are running at me, and then I get on the subway.
All those guys.
I don't know. I just
How's
remember-
not being on Zoloft?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Like my brain's just different than what it was 5 years ago or whatever when it started. Mm-hmm. I still get bouts of a little bit of depression.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's not being in New York and that rat race kind of thing, like where I'm feeling pressure all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far so good. I'm not on any antidepressants or anything. And it's, sometimes people, I feel like they almost like brag about it. I just know that it's there if I need it, which is nice to know. I'm glad that I went through it because I do really feel like, oh shit, if shit hits the fan again, I have something to lean on.
Yes, and it works.
Which is almost enough to like kind of get through any kind of anxiousness. But I haven't
It's
had
also
any
a good
like
reference, like a good reference point of how you could feel and be.
Right.
Yes.
I think you're right. Like a lot of times you don't know how good it could be or how, and it convinces you it is in your head.
Yes.
It's not just like,
Yes.
it's not it's something that can be cured by a pill. So like this thing isn't real. Like if you're having anxiety about having a heart attack, you're like, well, if I took this pill for 2 weeks, I wouldn't be worried about a heart attack. Well, clearly that pill's not helping my heart attack. So it's not a heart attack.
Yes.
It's my brain.
It's so true. And I
Yeah.
think your brain learns that. It adapts to that. Like, I think that's, even if you're on the drug, again, it's like coffee. It's like, is anything really working? Am I learning anything? Even if you're on Zoloft, you're learning that your thoughts aren't things, but they're like, you don't allow them to race. You don't allow them to get to that next level, and then that next level, and the next thing you know, you're in the ER again.
Yes.
For fucking 3 days, thinking you're having a heart attack, but really you just ate a spicy pepper. Like,
Man, I was feeling depressed this weekend, and I was talking.
because I wasn't there.
Possibly, I wasn't having as much social interaction, so that
I
obviously
know,
could
I'm
be.
just fucking around.
But I decided to help someone else that was going through depression, and man, it just was so interesting how like you find the answers when you just get out of your own problem, and suddenly it's like, oh, this is what I needed to tell myself. I didn't realize this works, but I was helping a friend with some like body issue stuff, and I was having the same stuff, and it was so interesting. Like I found the answers in giving her the help. Like I was struggling with
You're like, go to a Starbucks, walk by a black guy in a car.
y-
You'll feel great.
but I was like, just, I came, and the thing for me is like, I had to remember that my body is not my business, which is just something that you learn if you're in recovery, which never made any sense to me because it seems like you can control it. And you're like, no, if I starve myself, then I lose weight. Like I've seen it happen before. That's my control. But then you don't realize that then it quickly becomes out of control. Either you starve yourself too much and your life is miserable because you're hungry all the time and obsessed with food, or you eventually let your guard down and you cannot stop eating, and then you have this immense guilt and all this stuff. So it's really not in your control. And I reached out to a friend being like, I'm really struggling with body stuff. I don't know why this is coming up for me. And she was just like, well, just ask God to help you be the size you want to be. And I was like, we were both kind of commenting like, that seems weird because being a size, it shouldn't matter what size. I should ask for acceptance about my size now. And she was like, no, you can ask God, like, can you help me achieve a size where I feel comfortable? Because the size I feel comfortable in is not a sickly size. It's just a little bit less than right now. My clothes I just don't want to buy new clothes.
Yes.
And I just want to feel comfortable in the clothes that I love. And right now they're not comfortable.
Now, is this cool God or like?
Yeah.
Like
No, this is honestly fucking, I don't know if it's you're asking the air, you're asking aliens.
No, I know. I'm just picturing like a God being like, you better be a size 2. Like, like a cool God.
Yeah, this God.
So this is like a laid back. This is like a laid back God. Like,
it's just
nice and loving God.
This God, I hate the word God. I really hate the word God. But to me, it just means it's just anything that's not me. Because I do not have control over my body, and I love hearing like it's none of your business. So I just asked politely, like in my mind, even aloud, like, God, will you just like help my body be like what I would like it to be? I think of my body and what I want it to be as something that's behind a counter at a front desk of a hotel. Like I can see it, but I don't get to go get it. Like I have to ask for help. And if I were to go get it, I could get in trouble. Like that's only going to make my life. So it's something I just need help with. Like someone needs to get. So,
but are you looking for an answer from like?
No,
I know
and
not
you know
like.
what?
But what are you looking for?
I'm looking for just help, either with like.
No, so you ask him, and then there's the silent. Like, what happens after you?
I don't know. Just I'm not starving
so you're
myself.
Just putting it out there.
I want to be maybe it will look like not being as emotional and eating my feelings. Maybe that what it will look like for me. Maybe it's like my body will naturally like let go of some weight that I don't need, but it's not going to be because I'm starving or because it's not going to be anything that I'm doing to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to control this. But what happened was the next day I felt I like loved my body, and it wasn't because maybe I lost weight, but I don't think I did. I think it was just like my thing was answered because for me, what I thought I was asking for was a smaller body, but what I was given was, oh my God, I think I look like actually better like this. Like that was the answer. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Then it bubbled up again a couple days later. And then I remembered this Louise Hay quote that I love, which is God, the universe, whatever it is not going to keep giving you gifts if the gifts that you are given, you just go like, I don't even like this. Like, I don't want this. Like, I would not give you a single gift ever again. If every time I gave you a gift, you were like, it's not good enough. I don't like it. So being grateful is always the solution to having the things that you want in life given to you, because it's not in your control whether you get things.
Even if the answer to the gift isn't what you necessarily think you want or need.
Well, I can be grateful I have hands. That's a gift that, like, if I didn't have hands, that would fucking suck, and I can be grateful for hands. You know, like, that's the type of thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Instead of being like,
sense.
I'm fat today, or whatever the fuck my brain is telling me. Like, focus on a gift that I have been given that I'm so grateful for. And then the universe hears that and goes, oh my God, I want to give that girl more gifts because she actually appreciates it.
Oh, there's nothing better than that.
So that's the answer. Like, that is the answer. When you're complaining about your life and every little thing, which I did about Air Canada, I'm a little bitch that complains all the time. But that state of mind does not lead to more good things happening to you. It just doesn't. And I just thought that kind of like the gift analogy was kind of cool. Let's take a quick break and come back with top one, bottom one. All right, we're back. It's time for top one, bottom one. The category today is
favors.
Things people ask of you. Now, that's obviously like kind of almost a negative in and of itself, but within any kind of category, there is going to be a best and a worst. Let's start with the worst kind of favor to be asked of you.
Why do anytime I think of something like the worst, like I think of Larry David, like I think of her,
yeah.
like it just like things like different scenes play in my head, or like what would annoy him. Mm-hmm. Because like there could be giant favors that annoy you, right? Like, like, hey, will you give me $30,000? Obviously, that's like, or give me $100,000.
Sure, that's a favor I love.
You love that kind of favor.
Yeah.
Because it's just so black and white.
I don't want to get to my favorite yet, but that is...
Okay.
So I'll start with my least. No. That was actually... You gave me my answer. My least one was... well, I just got asked it today. This is from a friend of mine who I've worked on a show with, and he's someone that I just like reached out. I just like love this guy. He's a younger kid that's worked on a show, and I just have an affection for him. And he runs kind of depressed sometimes, and I just talk to him about his life, and he's just a sweetheart. And he wrote to me, "Hey, I'm doing my first open mic at the end of this month. Can I record my little set and send it to you after for constructive criticism?" And I wrote back, "This is real. I would say yes, but I think you just have to go about it on your own in the beginning. I did not ask for help from people in the beginning because I knew I would suck, and it's all about trial and error. You're too new to receive help. Give it a couple years and then I can start helping you. I'm really proud of you though." That is me.
you.
Like, that is not something I would be able to do normally, is tell people. I would usually say yes, but that would be lying to him. I don't want to give you help. I don't think you deserve it yet. I wouldn't ask a guitar virtuoso to help me making a, B minor chord. I would just go online. I would just help someone that was a little bit better than me, or I would ask someone.
No, you did a lot for that person in that instance. I really do.
Yeah.
I think I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I think depending on how they took that too and what they wrote back.
Thank you for being honest with me, and I appreciate you taking the time to get back to me on this! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! And I said back to him, I said, "Of course, I love you, and nothing changes that." Because I do.
Yeah.
That is a loving response, because that is me sticking to my boundaries. He doesn't get to have access to
Because of something else. No, it doesn't.
I would
Not
have
at that
never
point.
asked Chris Rock. Not that I'm Chris Rock, but in terms of how much better Chris Rock was than me at certain points in my career, even when I was like 10 years in, I would have never asked him I wouldn't ask him for advice now,
No, it's a good lesson to learn now as opposed to meaner people down the road that you ask a favor for, or you think you deserve something just because you put in such minimal amount of effort. So many people feel like they deserve it way too early.
Yes.
And whatever it is.
I'm so psyched for. I did give him advice about just do it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy to give advice about trying to do comedy, but in terms of helping you write jokes, you're gonna find out, and you're gonna suck. No one's gonna be good in the beginning. There's nothing I can tell you at this point. Look for help from people that are just a couple steps above you, not a mile above you.
Yeah, in stand-up, there's really, to really be good at there's no shortcut. You just have to get on stage. Like, it's not it's different than every other form. It really, I mean, look, a lot of people can be good and get
But
laughs.
don't you feel about golf? It's about hours as well.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going to be a natural going in.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's about the hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't write fucking Tiger Woods. Hey, can you look at my swing? I'm thinking about going to a driving range.
The guy that was driving me in Vancouver is in a band called Gob. That was like a huge band. They've done a bunch of stuff, and he's a guitarist. And so I saw my guitar and was like, "Do you play?" And I go, "Yeah, but like I'm 2 years in." And we were driving back, and he had just seen my show, and he was just very he was just like, "I can't believe you're like, that was insane." He was just very into it, and he was like, "So what are you gonna do the rest of the night?" I was like, "Gonna go practice guitar." And then I go, I realized that you've been playing guitar I was talking to him. I go, at this point, if I wasn't as good as you're saying I am at stand-up, there would be something wrong, because I've done it so much that I'm an expert because of the hours I put in. I go, just like you at guitar. And I go, you're probably so good because and you being on stage all the time, you're probably nervous in the beginning, and now you could do anything. You could play for any amount of people. And then we started talking about guitar, and I got into the thing of like, I'm having trouble with my pick, holding my pick. But before I asked for advice, I said, I realized this is like this would be you, thinking about doing an open mic and asking me for what's a good closer. But like, I'm struggling with my pick. I'm just putting that out there. And I didn't ask for advice. And then he gave me some that was not me asking for it. I was just explaining what my experience is instead of asking for it.
And I was 30 when I moved to New York. And I swear to you, I did not even expect to get on a show, like a bar show. And partly I went the other way of thinking I didn't deserve anything until I put time in.
I turned down so many things. Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this show. I only have these jokes from Florida. I can't. But I think there's a nice balance of thinking you deserve things and also that you don't. So I love the effort of even writing that. There is something to asking for help and asking for advice that is difficult to that you shouldn't be open to be able to do. And I hope that didn't shut that person down because
No, yeah.
you know what I
It was
mean?
a good
'Cause
response.
I thought it was a good, but I'm saying there's a
Reject with love.
reject with
Yeah.
love, and also, but don't be afraid to ask for things if you think you deserve them.
Can I share another thing? The other day was how she was getting a request from a girl that to hang out, and she was like, I just really don't want to. I don't have an excuse other than when I have free time, I want to spend it with my boyfriend. No new friends kind of thing. We're going to
Yes.
bleep whoever's name I
Yes.
just said.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering why we bleeped it, because I just don't
Tinder
want to.
swindler, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I told her, I said, I wrote a response for her because I was because she goes, I'm just telling her I'm busy and all these things. And I go, you're not busy. You don't need to lie.
Yeah.
So I gave her an example of something that I had said to someone of I don't have time for my friends in my own life, my family, they come first and I just don't have time for friends. I gave her a response, but she was like, I just don't know how you are honest with people. And then I remembered that Emil witnessed me being extremely honest with someone the other night.
But wait, did that person send that to that other person? And how was the response?
She never wrote back to me, so I'm guessing it went well. If there would have been more conflict, I
she's
assure
dead.
you.
She might be dead.
So Emil wrote the other night, he goes, and I'm not going to say, I'm going to use the name James instead of the real person's name. He goes, okay, I can't stop thinking about, this was at the cellar the other night. He goes, I can't stop thinking about when James said, hey, will you let me know next time you're in town? And you straight up were like, no, I won't do that.
Shut the fuck up.
I said that.
That's
because
amazing.
I won't. I didn't want to lie. I don't want to lie and be like, I will. And I just go, there was more to it than that. I said, honestly, I'm not going to, but it's not because I don't like you. I don't write my best. Sometimes I
Yes.
forget. And I go, and I always know I'm going to see you at the cellar and I count on that. But I'm never going to let you know beforehand. And he handled it. He was just it wasn't rude. It was loving actually, because I was like, I do love seeing you. But I'm not going to lie to you right now and say I'm going to let you know.
I had a very similar moment to that recently, but I didn't do it to the person's face because someone else goes, hey, you're going to that city. You should call blah, blah, blah. Or
Sure.
let them know that you're in town. I'm like, I like that person, but I got to focus on doing once I start opening up those floodgates, then I'm like, oh, now I got to call 15 people to let them know. I have a website. I put it on my shows on Instagram. I can't but I like that person.
Yes.
It has nothing. But my least favorite favor, back to that. I guess we should go to those. The whole thing. But the top one, bottom one, least favorite favor. I don't like when someone has their phone on them, and they could easily, and they go, "What's the weather tomorrow?"
When's your show start? What show?
But
What
something
time
even
is the
smaller
show
than
tonight?
that. What's the weather tomorrow? You have a phone. Your phone's in your hand.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
Is it really about the weather? Is that a real one?
Yeah, that's a real thing. Like
Oh,
a
wow.
little thing like that. It's like, well, you.
I just
What's that?
remembered one that was just similar to this. I'm sorry to share these real life examples, but there's a bestie who wrote me for tickets to the meet and greets because
Yeah.
he couldn't afford them or whatever. And he goes, so, a month ago he wrote me, is there anything I need to know to do? Just let me know. And I said, they'll be there at the box office under your name. He said, awesome, thank you. And then I get on Friday night before the show, or at Friday at 1 p.m. Hey, thanks again for the tickets tonight. Can't wait. Just wondering if it'll still be at the box office before we head down. And I wrote back, why would that have changed? Why would that have changed, Jesse? And I met Jesse after the show. He's a very nice, very nice and very gracious and grateful. But it was just, and he wrote back, haha, I didn't think so. We just live farther away, so just wanted to make sure. I get it. But I told you where they were going to be.
Yes.
And it was sweet to follow up, but I couldn't just tell him yes. I had to be like, why did you ask?
Yes. I guess his thought process, I guess, is that if he gets there late, will the box office be closed?
Or
Yeah.
I'm about to drive 7 hours. I didn't realize he's coming from fucking Saskatchewan.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
Saskatchewan,
made,
yeah.
and he was lovely, and I love that I'm even able to say Jesse because I know that he would laugh at that. But he was so sweet and said the nicest things after the show. So and he knows that I was kind of annoyed by that because of what I wrote back. But I just those kinds of things where it's like I already told ya. or like you just look it up, you know.
Yeah. Also,
but I do that all the time too, so I'm just projecting. Don't be mad at me, Jesse.
The thing that I'm upset about, I also probably do.
Sure.
But like
what is the weather?
The little favor.
Sometimes though, you've been outside and I want to know the weather because I don't feel like looking, because you have to go to your phone and you have to go. And sometimes it says it's raining and
weather
it's not.
can be different than indoor
Today,
weather.
the weather
Yes.
app, you were working with on the computer stuff and I didn't want to bother you about the weather. But so I looked it up. It said it was raining. Put on my rain boots, put on my rain jacket. Not raining. Brought my umbrella. No reason to do all that. So it would have been helpful. All right, let's go to final thought and let's go through these. Noah, what is your least favorite?
Least favorite is when a friend asks me to tag along to when they're meeting other people. And it happened to me this weekend. Like a friend of mine was meeting this couple online that she had never met before. And
Like a swingers thing?
well,
The Tinder swinger?
So initially I was like, they're just like in a group together of like I don't want to say exactly, but like a common thing, right?
Okay.
And she invited me.
They all have herpes, we'll just assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's out. It's bad. They're bleeding.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
She invited me. She's like, oh, like the UFC match is going to be on at the bar that we're going to. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go. 2 hours before, she texts me that she found out that the guy from this couple is also he runs like a swingers / unicorn group. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, okay, so how did this conversation go? Are you sure he's not inviting you to kind of get to know you and your husband?
Yes.
For like a wife swap thing. But I'm glad that
it's just book club.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey is all we read over and over.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I went. It was kind of awkward at first. They turned out to be very nice people.
You're telling me the favor you don't like is being the like kind of designated friend just in case this person that they're meeting is weird.
Or boring. Yeah.
What about when I invited Andrew on a date with me on a lunch date because I was nervous? See, is that a thing you would be like, ugh, it's not, I would do this on your own, Nikki.
To meet a guy, like if one of my girlfriends wants me to come along because she's meeting a guy that she's interested in, that's okay. I would go. But this is more of like a social thing where it's like, oh, you guys made this plan and now you're kind of roping me into it.
Now I have to suffer through this thing that I don't want to go to because I get that. And you know what? That is kind of like a favor that I have asked of people before because I have social anxiety going into something. And it's nice to hear that that's a thing that's annoying because to me, that's not a favor that bugs me as much because I'm like, oh, I'm a great +1. Like I will make this so fun for you because I have no dog in this fight, Yeah. Literally, I've been to a dog fight and I'm like, Luigi's not competing today. So I'm going to have so much fun.
Look, Michael Vick needed you there.
But, I would say that favors can be so much better if they are acknowledged for how grateful you are for that person doing them. Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
As soon as that guy wrote back, thank you so much, and wrote all, like, I was like, this guy could ask me 1,000,000 times if they're at the box office because he's so grateful for the thing. And I think that's something nice to remember is that bad favors, if you're hearing one that you often ask of people here, as long as you're showing gratitude, I would do anything.
That's the thing, though. A little favor gets no gratitude because it's a little favor. So then it could be asked a lot. It reminds me a lot of the Curb scene where he's at the dinner table, someone spills something, and the lady goes, someone get him a napkin. And Larry goes, why don't you get him a napkin?
Yes.
Like, why am I the one getting the napkin?
Yes. That is a common one with you because there's I totally get it. Like it's not my thing. That doesn't bother me for some reason but it makes total sense why that's annoying. Because
there's no gratitude involved because it's such a little thing.
Yes.
But then it builds up.
I remember one time I asked my boyfriend to get me something that I could have gotten. I just didn't want to get up from the couch. My feet were in the massage thing, by the way. That does affect it. And he later said to me, he goes, don't treat me like you treat your friends, just bossing them around to do things for you. And it made me realize I do that. Like when I when I'm just mildly inconvenienced in a way that maybe they aren't, I would ask you to go get that bowl for me because my feet are in this thing, when really I could just turn off the thing and go get it. And I might not say please and thank you in the way that I should for that minor thing, because I'm thinking it's 3 steps.
But then that would feel like too big of a thing.
Yes.
Like a big thank you. It's like, no, I just got your fucking bowl.
And then
I don't need
sometimes
a big
people
thank
go, like, what are you thanking me for? Like, they make you feel bad about it. But it did wake me up to like, oh, I do that to my friends. I just assume that my friends, like people that love me unconditionally, I could just boss them around. And I like that he said that, because he was like, I'm not that guy. And I'm like, well, I don't want you to be talked to like that, and I don't want to talk to my friends like that either. It was a good wake up call. Let's get to our top favor.
Yeah.
Top favor.
My favorite favor, and this is not
To be asked for?
Yes.
From? Okay.
Yes.
this is not telling, like, I will not be heeding any requests for this.
Okay.
But when people that are very in need of money that I love and care about in my life, and this is a small list of people, when life has handed them unlucky situations, bad families that have led them to struggle more than others, like, people think that I've gotten my riches because I've worked, of course I've worked hard, but I've also been born with a brain that makes it easy for me to work hard and like I can do 45 podcasts back to back. Some people can't. And it's not because they're lazy. Back to back, I said, not at the same time. I also had parents that were extremely supportive of me to pursue this wild career that paid off. I also grew up with parents who taught me please and thank yous. So I've been nice enough to make friends, and people have given me things because I'm not, like, my talent isn't all just like, I worked hard and you didn't, and my money is like, because of course I've earned my money, but I love helping my friends financially who need it with no, like, you have to pay me backness.
It's the best.
Because I believe that I'm lucky, and some people are just unlucky, not because they're lazy, not because they are, sometimes they are addicts, but it's not, I don't give money to friends. I like helping friends in that way. It's really hard though, because a lot of friends are so deeply uncomfortable by being assisted by my extra money or my family, because it's awkward, when you feel like you're a handout. It's a handout because you're like this poor person. But to me, I've received money from friends before when I was not doing well, and with no expectation of paying back, and I haven't paid it back because it was given as a gift, not as a loan, which is a different thing. And I was able to take it because I knew that person, I make a lot of money for what I do, and I do it because I like helping people with my money, whether it's organizations, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm just a saint. There's something about it that feels so good to me sometimes that it's almost better for me than it is for them. Like, when I'm able to give my family or my friends money when they're going through something, it makes me feel so much, and it's not because I'm like, they owe me. Yeah. Maybe subconsciously there's something there. I don't want to rule it out because what do I know what's going on in my brain? But I truly I don't even remember the amounts I give. I have friends that are like, I owe you blank this much money. And I go, I didn't even know that. I don't keep tabs. Maybe that's irresponsible, but I love that. That's what I work for, is to be able to help people in need. And I hope that someone who I've given money to can hear this and know that there's no resentment. There's no me being like, you're so sad and I'm not. There's nothing of that. It's like, I won the lottery essentially, and now I get to share it.
What's interesting with those things is that, like, the two different favors. Like, one is someone that's starting out something and asking for a favor, and you're like, well, you don't deserve this yet, right? This access, or like this whatever, this knowledge yet from me, because unless you work hard for it.
Yeah.
If that's like, same person asks for money, I don't know, it's just interesting to me, like,
well, for me,
I feel like if someone asks for money, they need to, because I've been that
no one even asks me for money ever. I just give it, they're just telling me about their life, and I go, I know what this would do for you. Just take it. I've never been asked for money.
But are they telling you to ask you?
No, because they fight it too. And if they fight it enough, I don't give it. I really don't. Or I say, pay me back. That's fine. Usually I just try to do it. Like Carlisle, I've given her money in the past, and she always pays me back. And let me just say, if you are someone who's lent money to people, you never get paid back. That's why I don't expect it. If you expect it, you're just going to end up, they don't pay you back. Carlisle always paid me back, even when I'm like, please do not. Please keep that money, because this was a gift for being, you've earned it in being my friend and helping me through, like, and I don't even remember it. When you give me this money back, I go, what is this? But I will say that the difference is, my money that I'm giving you will actually help you. The advice I'm giving you for like the jokes
For
and
one,
stuff,
yeah.
beyond telling you to move the mic stand out of the way and do it as much as possible, there's nothing my advice for you stand-up wise is not going to help you right now. It's you that's not the way to get help.
And the best way to get money from friends or like family is to work on yourself. In regards to money, because I've been in situations where I lost all my money and like I was in debt.
Yeah.
And I wasn't helping myself. I started drinking more.
I wouldn't give you money.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the rub though, because it's like you don't want to help someone that's not trying to help themselves.
Yeah.
But that person that can't even help themselves because they're already in debt are the
that's-
people that need the money more.
Well, I would
because
give
they
you
can't
money
help
if I
themselves.
realized that the money, if you were someone that,
But you see what I'm saying though? Because
no,
it's
but
hard
that's what I'm saying. Then I would give you money, because if
Yeah.
I knew that money was going to take you out of debt and make it so that you could get your life started, I would gladly give you that money. I wouldn't give it to you if I saw this guy who had no intention of getting his life turned around, was down, like had no ambition.
But what comes first? The no ambition.
Well, I would talk to them and say, well, is this money going to get... And by the way, once you give someone money, it's not your money to do anything with. But before I gave it out, I would... If that would help that person get to a spot where I think that ambition would flow for them, 100% I would. And am I the judge of when ambition's going to come? No. Sometimes I've given money and I'm sure it's not gone to the right places. But I will say that I'm interested in getting a man in my life that I can just funnel a lot of money to, and he can take women out on private jets, excursions. I'm looking to be swindled, is what I'm saying. This is
You want to get swindled by your own money?
Wait a second. Okay, so Andrew, what is your favorite?
My favorite, I think, is when people ask me for like creative advice. Like when you ask me for joke advice, or like if someone like is like, hey, can you watch this? And they really want to, use my mind, my creative mind.
Yes.
Because I do,
Well, that
feels good.
I love hearing that, because that is for me where like, that's what I missed about you on the road to like bring this full circle. Like that, I probably this like year on the road ask you to like watch certain parts of my set, because I really want to like punch it up, and you're the king of like, I always say about you, not only do I like having you around because you just are always, you make things light for me and fun, and you don't like overthink things, but you are someone where I can just go, I need a funny thing for this. And I've said it before, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is the most genius thing ever. And I have to like tweak it to make it for me. But like, you are someone that, thank God for you for so many things, not only just with Perfect Strangers too, but like when I brought you to write for me, like I'm usually like coming at it with like, I gotta fit into this dress later and I have to have my hair and makeup. I can go, hey, can you come up with like 10 things that, remember that one thing we did on Perfect Strangers? This was hilarious.
That was my favorite. We're talking about a pool?
Yes.
Yes, that was the best.
Well, that was funny because
I could do that for
we were doing this
my
thing on
whole
Perfect
life.
Strangers 2 that was like to promote the show. I'm going to make this real quick. No, I promise. My favor I'm asking you is please can I
Let
have
us
one
have
more,
2 more minutes.
even though I know you're doing this for me. Okay.
He's like, give me money.
I'm like, come with me later to, we had to do this thing where you wrote a bunch of things for me. It was like date scenarios where it's like, is this a red flag? Oh yeah, it's on a first date. Is it a red flag or is it a like
green flag?
And so the scenarios at first I were thinking were supposed to be like real things that would really be polarizing in terms of like, I wouldn't mind that. Well, I would. And we're going to put them on Instagram and people are going to vote. And I wanted them to be like not obviously red flags, like not funny. And then, so Andrew sent me I didn't make it clear enough. I was like, I want them to be polarizing. And I think he was like, okay, so set in a cold climate or something.
Yeah, a
You were
polar
like-
bear.
You sent me all these ones that were not polarizing. They were like very obvious red flags, but they were hilarious.
Yes.
They were like
Over
your
the
first
top
date,
red flags.
Your first date pushes you down the stairs and says like, you deserve it, bitch.
And then
like,
fucks your mother on
and
top
then
of your head. Something like that. Yeah.
Those kinds. And I was laughing so hard at how bad these were and like how they were off the assignment, but they were so funny. So then we go to shoot it, and I wrote all these ones that were actually polarizing, like, he says that he's still friends with his ex, stuff like that some people are like, fuck no, and other people are like, I don't care. and they just weren't fun. They weren't working because I was just like, who cares? You know, like really, who cares? And then while we're shooting, we just start making them insane. And then that's when Andrew's standing by and starts like pitching me things. I mean, it was so fucking funny. That was the most fun you, me, and Bill had on the entire set, was pitching out those absurd things that we ended up using all those ones.
I mean, we would have, and dude, that's whatever that was should be a show, because we've never been funnier than those 5 minutes of like.
Because I was saying, I'm like,
what
this,
happens
like,
when you're dating a guy?
Is this a red flag or a green flag? You go to a guy's house and you go to a guy's house for the first time. You open the fridge and inside is just one head of lettuce and a head, a human's head. What would you do? Would you A, totally accept it? He's into weird things. Like it was done with this like quirky, and it just was becoming so fucking
This guy
insane.
lived with his parents, who happened to have in the same house where they died 6 months ago.
Yes. It was so fun. So stay tuned. We gotta go. Thank you for listening. This week I'm going to talk about the besties I met while in Canada, the gifts they gave me to give Andrew. I didn't get around to today. Please come see me in Nashville. If you have friends in Nashville, the tickets are low for that, and I'm only admitting it here on the podcast. I don't know why, but I haven't been to Nashville in a while. They're just telling me to make a TikTok today, and I'm like, the tickets must be not selling well. I'm not embarrassed of it. Who gives a shit? But if you do have friends in Nashville or you live in Nashville, I'd love for you to come to the show and support me so I don't feel like a total jackass. But Winnipeg and Vancouver, you guys stepped up, sold out both shows. And Texas, obviously this weekend, 3 different places in Texas. NikkiGlaser.com to check out the tour. We have merch for sale, podshop.nikkiglaser.com to buy bestie merch. Love you guys so much. Don't be cuh, and ask me for money.
Jasper.